Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Batcolyte. Go ahead and tap this screen and share the live. If you happen to have a belief in a god or gods, a higher power, or anything like that, and you're capable of questioning that belief, go ahead and request on out. I'm not here to debate you or argue. I just want to know if you can question your beliefs, and if you can, then what is it that you believe, and why do you believe it? Let me just cough directly into the microphone. Sorry about that. But I do need to make sure that I thank Crystal J for helping with the goal. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I wonder if there's anybody who has a belief in a god or gods. Or how long do you think we'll be sitting here, seeing if anyone has the courage or curiosity to request up and question their beliefs? Yes, Azure, we ended a little early this morning. I think I was behind on my sleep. I just hadn't had enough in the last week, and I saw an opportunity to get more. And I definitely got more than I intended. But now that I'm fully rested and ready to question, I wonder how many people will actually have the courage to question their beliefs tonight.
What's going on, man?
Hello, Aiden. Can I get your age for TikTok TOS?
Oh, I'm 18, buddy.
What year were you born?
8/25/07. That's my birthday.
I see. And do you have a belief in a god or gods, a higher power, or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm a Christian. I'm a what you would call a non-denomination Christian, but yeah.
A non-denominational Christian. Have you read your Bible from beginning to end?
Uh, I read quite a bit of it, a good deal of it.
You read quite a bit of it, a great deal of it, but not all of it.
I started my journey just about a year and a half ago.
I see. So about a year and a half ago, you began your journey, and you haven't read the Bible in a year and a half.
No, I read the Bible quite a bit actually.
I see.
On my free time, I work 98 hours a day.
Fascinating.
Not a
Since
day,
there's
a
only
week,
24 in a day.
a week. I work
I see.
98 hours a week. I missaid that.
So really quick, I'm going to speak past you, and it's not to be rude, but I really want to thank Danny Grax for the Gamer Cat. Thank you so much, Danny. Also, you said you haven't read the Bible all the way through, but you do read it when you're not working. You've been on this journey for a year and a half.
Yeah, I'm
Do
a
you believe?
recovering drug addict.
Fascinating. Well, congratulations on the recovery. Do you believe the stories from the Bible to be true and literal?
I believe some of them to be true. I believe some of them are as literal as they're made out to be in the Bible, because back then they didn't have any technology to explain what was really going on. But if you read it closely and you read it over 5 or 4 times, you know what they're talking about.
So if I read it closely more than 4 or 5 times, I'll know
Yeah, it's called
true
studying it.
or not.
No, like there's like things in there, like things that Jesus said in John, in the first book of John. It said Jesus speaks in parables, right? So he doesn't speak literally, right? So there are things in there that you do have to read like a few times to understand what the hell
What
he was
about
talking
things
about.
that Jesus doesn't say? Things like the 6-day creation or Adam and Eve in the garden. Do you believe those stories?
Hold on just a second. Anyways, do I believe those stories? Maybe not in the literal sense.
In what sense do you believe?
Um, 6 day creation. Well,
Yeah, the first chapter of Genesis.
so like, I would like to say something, and then I will go into depth. We could never understand what the hell goes on in that man's mind, right? Because he's God, right? So like, to me, maybe 6 days means 6,000 years, 6 million years. I'm not quite sure, but I do believe that maybe it took that long. I mean,
Are you
I
saying
mean,
that Genesis 1 is directly from the mind of God and that we just can't understand it because it's too complicated?
in that sense, yeah. I mean, do you think it would be? Do you think it would take 6 days to create the entire world?
What I think doesn't really make too much difference to questioning your beliefs. So you have this idea that it's maybe from God's perspective, that the days aren't days, but they're something else.
Yeah,
But still,
it's
6 periods of time in a particular order. Do you believe that?
yes.
What about the next chapter? Do you believe Genesis 2, where God creates man and puts him in a garden, and then creates animals and women to keep him company?
Yeah, does
Yeah.
that make sense? I believe. I
I
mean,
don't
I
know
don't
if that
believe it
makes
in that
sense,
order.
Aiden, but
I
you
don't
believe
believe.
that that story is true.
I don't believe necessarily that people were created first, but
What do you mean you don't believe people were created first?
well, because it clearly states that man wasn't created first. First, he created animals to crawl along the ground,
Oh,
and then
you're,
he
you're
created
talking
Adam.
about Genesis 1. We were talking about Genesis 2 now, when it says that
Yeah,
man is created before the plants and before the animals. It's true.
I mean, not necessarily in that order. I think animals were created first.
Were plants created before animals?
Well, yeah. Keep in mind, plants create oxygen for us to breathe. So, wouldn't that
Mm-hmm.
be rational to say that plants were created first?
It might be, but yet the second chapter of Genesis says that man was created before the plants.
Right.
Does that matter to you if the Bible contradicts itself like that?
Um, no, because it's God and His being speaking to a lower form of life, explaining to him what to write down on a piece of paper, bro.
And when God explained to this lower form of life what to write on the piece of paper, and he explained to this lower form of life to write the second chapter in contradiction with the first, does that matter to you at all? And I'd appreciate it if you stop spitting in our ears. You can mute to do that.
Yes and no.
All right, Aiden. I'd ask you to stop spitting in our ears. I think
I
I'm going
got
to go
dip in
ahead
my
and.
mouth,
That's a choice you made.
but I'm down to continue talking.
I appreciate you stop
If
spitting
you
in
would
our
like,
ears. So
okay.
if you're capable of questioning your beliefs, I would like to ask you just a few more questions, but I think that one's pretty important. Can you question your beliefs?
Yeah. Before I stopped doing drugs, I questioned like if God even existed, and I questioned the Bible entirely.
And you don't question that anymore.
No, because I've seen significant change in my life after I switched over. Since I started doing my own research and learning what Jesus had to say about the world.
How do you know what Jesus had to say?
Um, let's be real now. Don't you think it's irrational to stone a woman for adultery? I mean, considering all
That's
those other
fascinating that I
all
didn't
them other.
ask you about stoning a woman for adultery. I asked
No,
you what
I'm
Jesus had to
explaining
say and how you know what Jesus said. How do you know what Jesus said?
because it's in the Bible. It's in the New Testament.
Why do you
It's in,
believe why do you believe what's in the Bible?
because that's the well. I mean, the New Testament is the first account of Jesus Christ.
Why
If
do
you
you
want to learn
believe
about
it?
somebody, when you go to the first account,
Hey Aiden, who wrote the New Testament?
a series of people. Actually, I'm pretty sure the 12 disciples did. Some of them did.
You think so?
Some of them did. Yeah.
Have you ever looked into it to see if that's true or not?
Not exactly. No.
Does it matter if it's not true?
I mean, can I explain my viewpoints on it?
I
So,
just
like,
asked you if it matters, if it's true or not. Does it matter?
does it matter? I mean, I don't know because, to be honest with you, I guess if we mean, what do you mean by that question? If you don't mind me asking.
Does it matter if what you believe, in this case, that the 12 disciples had a hand in writing the New Testament? Do you, does it matter if that is true or not?
Well, I know it to be true because it was first eyewitness account.
You say it was that you know it was to be true because there's first eyewitness accounts. What does that mean?
Does that mean the people that wrote some of it, they were there, they witnessed it?
How do you know that?
How do I know that? Because do you know anybody that would be willing to die based on something that they know to be true? Most of
Do I
them die.
know anybody who was willing to die based on something they know to be true?
Yeah, if I
You're
held a
not
gun to your
really,
head,
your
if I
question isn't really making much
if
sense right now,
no
and
no
it's
no
also not, it's
let
not
me
answering
let,
my question.
let me
Stop
let me
trying to talk over me. It's not going to work, Aiden. Stop trying to talk over me. It's not answering my question. How do you
okay.
know the disciples had anything to do with writing the New Testament? How do you know?
Well, for one, some of it's named after them.
By whom?
By who?
Yeah, who named
Themselves.
those books after them? Are you sure they named the books after themselves? Did up later those books? Would that cause
Uh,
you to question it?
Now,
Why not?
um, just like I said, man, everything that I've applied to my life in that book has created significant change in my life.
So, as I had asked before, does it matter if it's true or not? If it's not true and it still makes change in your life, does it matter if it's true?
I don't know, man. Your question doesn't really make sense because I know it to
Wow,
be true.
fascinating. So then you can't question your beliefs and you're wasting my time. I don't know why you requested up here if you're not capable of questioning it. But
I
Aiden,
just told
I
you, man.
appreciate you, and I'm going to go
Before I
ahead
was
and move
doing
on
drugs, if I
because you're not
before
answering
I
my
was doing
questions,
drugs,
and I don't think you're actually capable of
well,
questioning your beliefs. You
well, like
haven't actually stopped talking or wanting to just say the things you want to say rather than listening and responding to the questions. I feel like I'm not having a conversation, I'm just letting you. So maybe if you decide you can question your beliefs, you can request backup. I'm full of patience tonight. All the patience. It's all here. There's all patience. And if you have the patience to question your beliefs and the capability, maybe the curiosity, whatever it is, if you're capable of questioning a belief in a god or gods, a higher power, or anything like that, then go ahead and request on up. I'm not looking for a debate or an argument, but I'm also not looking to just platform your speech. If you want to give a soliloquy, this is a video platform. You're welcome to post your video on your channel. But if you want to have a conversation and actually see if you can question your beliefs, then go ahead and hit one of those boxes. It's been a weird full moon weekend. Should we equate the strangeness of the weekend, maybe even my behavior, with a full moon? Or is all of it just people being people? Comments are hard. But you're doing great, Kira. Questioning beliefs even in text. I noticed that we are at 5,700 likes, which is pretty amazing, and I appreciate everybody for tapping the screen. But I do think if we tap just a little bit more, we could probably break 10,000 before midnight. Well, midnight my time. And if we did that, I imagine it might get us a little bit of an uptick in the FYP, maybe get a few more people who are curious enough or courageous enough to question their beliefs, and maybe even patient enough. And think about the questions before just spewing. Sounds like what they expect they're supposed to. But while we wait, welcome in everybody. Welcome anyone who's just joining us, and everyone who's been here for a while. I haven't said my welcomes, so hello to Ozzy Bear and Kira. Welcome in Jimmy Travis. Also hello to Jimmy B. Welcome Danny Grax and Mermaid Flippers. Angel, welcome in. Alien Impact, good to see you. Welcome Michael V, as always. Welcome Deftone Dude and Paniac. Good to see you. Hello Rachel and Dark Knight. Hello Redheaded Trouble, good to see you. Also to Cash and Autumn Eggleston, to Fraser, to LJ and Curly Toes. What a name. Welcome in. Welcome in Hocus Crocus and Vegan Hedda. Sebastian, good to see you as always. Welcome Fanny the Butt and Not Your Mom. Welcome Todd and Birdies, Windy City Smokers, and Swagmasters Doritos. You guys have some very interesting names. Welcome. And Crybaby Monster, hello to you too. I'm just happily sitting here in the contemplative glow of the full moon with a lulling lute trilling in the background, sipping on my blueberry coffee and waiting for someone with a belief in a god or gods, a higher power, or anything level of questioning their belief. I could be waiting a while to have a belief with the idea of spirits or alien interventions. Whatever it is, if you've got a belief in something like that and you're capable of questioning it, go ahead and hit that request box or the blue and pink people next to your chat box. Either one of those will bring you up here. And I won't be looking for a debate. I'm not looking to shame you or make you look like a fool. I'm not looking to burgle the god or disprove you. I really, really just want to know, if you can question your beliefs, then what is it that you believe? And not just the name of it, not just the title, but what is the structure of it? What is the working of that belief? And why hold on to it? Why shape your life to it? Why, or do you? Why let it affect you at all? Why believe it? Or is it just something you say you believe because you feel like you should? You've been told you are supposed to. Crybaby Monster says, I'd love to hold on to my paranormal beliefs. What paranormal beliefs are those? And why hold on? What is the holding on doing for you? What is the belief actually accomplishing? Well, someone had some courage. Hello, Crybaby Monster. How are you doing?
I'm good. Nervous.
Understandable. Can I get your age for TikTok TOS?
For the last year, I thought I was 42, but it turns out I'm only 41.
I did that at 37. Or 36. I did
Oh man.
until I was actually just about to turn 37. I was sure I was 37. And then
Yeah.
somebody said, it's your 37th birthday. And I'm like, I did the math. And sure enough, they were right. But I had
I
been
couldn't
going the
believe
whole
it.
year telling people.
Yep, me too.
Well, so you're 41, about to be 42.
Yes.
Do you have a belief in a god or a god's higher power, supernatural, or anything like that?
So, not a god or a higher power or anything. Being a cult survivor, I still have like religious trauma, but um, it would be in the paranormal. We do paranormal investigating, and I have equipment and basically, because I have equipment and they're talking to me through it and answering questions.
Are you sure they're talking to you?
We base it on, you know, whether it sounds. Um, Obviously, we wouldn't just take words in a sequence that doesn't make sense. I've even gone to lengths to play it in AM radio backwards to make sure that it wasn't a radio station.
So, when you say that you've got equipment, what is it you mean?
So we have a spirit box, and basically you pick up frequency, and you can make it scan the radio waves. But I know that that can be manipulated, so I try to run them backwards, fast. So I also do it in AM so that it's not as common to be picking up just random voices, if that makes sense. Electronic voice phenomenon is basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, EVP. So, but you're modulating your received signals in some way. You're changing them and manipulating them.
Yeah.
You said by making them run backwards.
Yeah, you can press a button and it'll scan all of them one after another fast. You know what I mean? Well, you can do it the opposite way. I'm not sure if I'm explaining it correctly.
And the equipment gets a recording or a signal. It finds a frequency where something is modulating or moving, and it
Speaking
plays that.
through it.
How, when you say speaking through it, is it like, are these definitely voices speaking?
Yes. And it's not just one word answers. These will be full sentences. And they'll be it sounds intelligent.
You say it sounds intelligent. Is it directly in line with questions you're asking? Does it sound like it is answering you in a communicative way?
Yeah, and it's almost instantaneous most of the time. Like they're just waiting to talk. And I was taught for a really long time that there was no afterlife at all. So this has been really exciting.
What is it that indicates that if you are getting voices through these signals, that they are afterlife related.
That's a big assumption, obviously.
Could the signals that you're receiving be errant broadcasts, like sort of broken bits of other broadcasts?
Yeah. Definitely could. I have hope deep down inside that something that's been waiting to speak finally sees a way to do it and kind of hovers over the equipment to talk to me. It sounds so silly.
Why do you hope that something communicates with you?
So my husband passed away and I'm waiting to talk to him. Maybe.
Is that kind of what got you into this this activity?
I always had an interest in it, but it also started heightening it, obviously. I found some of my most favorite haunted locations, and I go there. I love Virginia City a lot, and I feel like one of the buildings in there is almost a beacon to the other side, where the activity is so... I feel like he'd come there knowing that I was there trying to talk to him. I'm so sorry. I got choked up for a second.
I understand. It sounds like you have a lot of emotional investment in this belief.
I'm a crybaby.
I don't know why I didn't pick up on that already.
It's funny, I'll cry when I'm laughing. I'm absolutely insane, but it's okay.
Do you feel like if you found some reason to believe that there were no ghosts, no afterlife, no communication, that it would be difficult for you to manage that acceptance?
Oh man, that's a great question. Yeah. I mean, obviously I'd be able to live with it, but that would be kind of disappointing. I'm still trying to figure out what we're even doing here, to be honest with you. Like, what would this even mean if this was it?
What would it mean if it wasn't?
Yeah, nothing. It wouldn't.
If there is, if there were some ghosts, some kind of spirits that communicated through electronic voice phenomenon, through AM frequencies with certain modulations, and if that was a reality, what would that mean for the supposed ghosts? What kind of existence are they experiencing, where they wait around for, broadcast reception from the living in order to say a few scrambled words?
I know. So my belief is that sometimes they get trapped in between, and maybe it was too fast and they didn't know where to go. It sounds so
between
great.
what?
Wherever they're supposed to be and here. Like another dimension, but stuck.
Why would there be an...
Wherever they're but stuck.
Why would...
In case there is.
What would be going there? What is it that's stuck here?
Okay, the best way that I could, like, an example that I can give, right, would be a movie. And I know that, and I don't want to go on and on. I know that you're asking me specific questions, and I really am questioning, I promise you. So there's a movie called What Dreams May Come, and it has Robin Williams in it.
Great movie.
Yes, right? Okay. So, you know how his wife decides to do what she did because she couldn't cope anymore and she was like stuck in that house? I feel like that's kind of maybe what it looks like, but also looks like the further in Insidious. Where it's dark and somebody that can talk to him is walking through with a lantern. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Kind of. But why would...
Yeah, I know
why
why.
would it be that way?
I don't know. It makes absolutely no sense either. In my logical mind, it makes no sense. But the religion that I was in, that I was shunned from, told us that when you unalive, that it's dark and that's it for the new world to come and be resurrected. And I feel like it's almost maybe a rebellion belief because of that too. So, I mean, honestly, it could be that too.
Kind of adding the potential of a waypoint between this and whatever is after, and that waypoint is still really just here, but in shadow, in darkness.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why would you assume, well, with that question, because it's not going to come out right. What was the cult that you got away from, that you were shunned from?
I was disfellowship Jehovah's Witness.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm free. I'm an apostate. That's also why I look the way I do. I tattooed my face and I think
Flame rebellion, huh?
Yes.
Do you,
You're gonna walk on the other side of the street when you see me.
I don't know about that. I don't think face tattoos are that scary.
Thank you.
Do you feel that there is good reason to believe that there is anything after this? Why would you just add steps to the belief you used to have?
I feel like the fact that we're even here at all is crazy enough that maybe there could be the afterlife too, you know, like, because if you think about it, it is pretty wild that we're even here, Thrayle. Life too, at all.
I mean, in what way?
So questioning beliefs and you know, the creation and then there's the Big Bang and all of that. Like, we're here somehow, floating on a rock in outer space, heated by a really hot thing in the sky. Like, it is wild. We created fire as if from nothing, like accidentally. In a word that people would use as magic, for things that they don't understand. It's pretty amazing the things that we've done. I feel like at that point, almost anything's possible. Maybe.
Maybe. I like the maybe.
I just feel like if we're here at all, it's pretty cool. And so who's to say that something else cool might not be happening too? I think that I'm refusing to believe that we are just snuffed out, like we didn't matter at all.
Why is that?
I don't know.
You said you're refusing to believe that we're just snuffed out, and you added, like we don't matter at all. Matter to what? To whom?
That's a great question. To whoever poured us in the petri dish. I don't even believe in it. That's crazy. I don't know. What are we even doing here, Thrayle?
Well, that's a good question. Right now, we're questioning.
Yeah, I didn't mean to ask a question. What you believe doesn't matter to what I believe. I get it. But yeah, but
Right.
really, it's crazy. If you think about it, what the fuck are we doing here, man?
Right. Why would there be a why, though? Why should there be a reason given if there is a reasonable how?
Yeah. It wouldn't matter either. I don't know. I like to think that we're powerful beings, but then that leads into a whole nother question, like, what is power? um, are we that insignificant? I feel like we're pretty fucking amazing.
What does that mean? It's like we didn't matter, or are we that insignificant? What is the worth that you're referring to, and who is holding that worth, that value?
Yeah, maybe to just ourselves, I suppose. I don't know.
That was a good I don't know.
Yeah, that was from the gut.
If you don't know what's assigning value or holding value for value, why would you assume that there needs to be any value aside from that which we decide?
Could you repeat that? I'm so sorry. I want to answer correctly.
The last part's all that really matters.
Okay.
Which is, why would you assume there is any value aside from the value that we decide on?
Yeah, there might not be at all. And I feel like that question goes into why I'm assuming maybe that there is an afterlife, because if there's nothing in charge of us per se, right? Then who decides whether or not we're unalived when we're unalived in this body? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, so like maybe this is just one of the chapters in the whole book, and we ascend. And I try to rein that in really quickly, because then, I mean, the whole...
Tons of questions start flooding out, like, what is ascension? Where do we ascend to? Why would we
Right.
ascend?
Do we have a choice to come back? Like, all
What
the
will be
things.
ascending?
And then it gets into Applewhite and Heaven's Gate, and then, you say a word like ascension and people get scared.
That's a different direction than I thought it'd go, but yeah, it could go that way.
Listen, I am full of knowledge in that area. Okay.
If it
It's
can
all
be a
useless.
cult, then you know of it. Okay.
It's all useless knowledge. Um,
If there's nothing there assigning value, if there's no God saying that you're worth this or worth that or not worth anything, if there's nothing ascribing that value except us valuing each other, then why would there be any afterlife?
it's possible that this plane is how we experience this life, and then maybe after this one, it's a completely different kind of world, and we take what we learned here and move forward.
When you say we move forward, what is the we?
All of us.
Well, but what do you mean us? What is going from this life to the next?
Yeah. So I don't want to use those words.
You can, but you know what I'll ask.
I do, and I can't answer them.
That's okay.
So inside of our bodies, there's a light, and that's us. That light, with everything that we've learned, the conscious mind maybe is what I mean. That's what we've learned, but actually,
The conscious mind is in the gut.
oh yeah.
Why would it be in the gut?
It's my belief that that is actually where we process emotion and feelings, and I believe that if there were a spirit to come out of us to go somewhere else, that's where it would come from, not like the brain, like everybody else thinks.
Mm-hmm. Have you looked into the science, the neurology, the biology?
No, I haven't. That would be a good idea.
It might be, just to see if it lines up. I would wonder if you were to find that the brain does most of the processing, and that the neurological cells that are in the heart and gut have more of a instinctive application rather than processing. I don't know, but if you were to find that, would it cause you to question whether or not there's a soul or spirit, or where it resides?
Well, if there's a more logical place for it to be, I could go with that.
Why would there be such a thing, a soul or a spirit?
Well, if what I believe is real, then there would have to be something inside that moves after the body doesn't work anymore.
Why?
Well, then, because if it didn't, then there wouldn't be an afterlife.
Right.
I mean, I guess it doesn't have to if it isn't real, but I believe that, so that's. But I don't know why I believe it either, so I don't know. It's, to be honest with you, Thrayle, it's possible that I only believe this because I was told not to. I'm going to be real.
Because you were told not to believe in ghosts and afterlives aside from this heaven that you were going to wake up to from the blackness.
Yeah. Where all the animals are just all of a sudden friendly overnight. Like you could pet lions without being eaten, that type of thing. Yeah, those books are terrifying, by the way.
Yeah, they are. Do you... If you do believe this only because you were told not to, does it matter to you then if it's true or not?
For some reason, I feel like the idea of blackness at the end is terrifying to me.
Why would there be blackness?
Just the end. I don't know. Well, I can tell you that I have a fear of space. So that's possibly why it's so terrifying for me.
Because you feel like it will, if it is not an afterlife, then it will feel like an eternal blackness, like a space.
Yeah.
Why would it feel like anything at all? Why would there be any feeling, thinking, experiencing?
I suppose it wouldn't, because that would be just the end, and we wouldn't know. I feel like that makes less sense than what I'm saying.
Do you remember what it felt like before you were born?
No.
Do you remember all the blackness, all the space of the emptiness, of the not existing?
Not at all. But when I think of being in the womb, it freaks me out.
I can understand. But even before that, before the conception of you, there would have been not you, right?
Yeah. Unless I was somewhere else, waiting for my
Is another
children.
question, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if there wasn't another place, if it was just you were conceived at that moment and from then on you existed, but prior to that you didn't, wouldn't that not existing before be just like the not existing after?
Yeah, it would. It
So
would.
you wouldn't know the darkness, you wouldn't have that space feeling, it would just be nothing. Is that as scary as blackness?
The way that you described it just now actually like eased something. It really did. I appreciate that.
No problem.
I feel like it would be, if what I believe in doesn't exist, that it would be more tolerable to think about it in the way you just described. I was just thinking this too. If what I believe in exists, then why wouldn't we remember before?
That's a really good question.
If all of this meant something where we were gathering for, our lessons that we learn and to go on